Welcome to Tank Time with Tom. It's been 5 weeks since we put steelhead eggs into the tank, and we've seen some evolve through the last couple weeks from egg to alevin and now into fry. And I am happy to say that we have healthy steelhead fry. We have a lot of them. And if you've been watching the video cam, you've seen some of their behavior. Well, this week we're going to discuss the habitat and what we've done in the tank to mimic the habitat that these steelhead have in the wild. So let's go ahead and take a look and get a closer view into what's going on in the tank. So we're in front of the tank now, and I'm going to scoot around to the side so we can get a better view of what's going on inside. But as I mentioned, we're going to discuss what we've done here to imitate the habitat that these steelhead have in the wild. And one of the biggest things is their shelter. And you can see here that we've got some rocks so they can hide. A lot of them are actually behind the rocks, but look how many are out just swimming about. And they don't have many things to worry about here. There's not any big fish or birds that can come swoop in and gobble them up. So they're swimming freely, but they're still instinctively hiding. There's some behind the rocks and some underneath the rocks. So that's a big component, is providing shelter in here. Having cold, clean water is a really important factor. And as we talked about earlier, we've got a digital thermometer in the back there, and our temperature's been hovering between 50 and 55, which is pretty good. That's just right in there for healthy egg growth. And as we mentioned earlier, the warmer the temperature, the faster the eggs will hatch. And the fish will also grow a little bit faster in warmer water. We've got lights on here during the day so that we can see them, but they're only on from 10 to 4. And otherwise, it's pretty dark in here because we've got the covering on the tank from all the styrofoam. You can see I've taken the front off, but we've got styrofoam covering the sides, the bottom and the top and the back. So that offers insulation, and it also provides shade. So it mimics what's going on in the real world. Oxygen is a big one, and I don't know if you can tell, but in the back you can see some bubbles coming in. There's actually a pump, and there's a bunch of bubbles floating around there. But oxygen is a huge factor, and one of them is that animals living in water use up dissolved oxygen, and bacteria take up oxygen as they decompose different materials. So what happens is the dissolved oxygen levels drop in water that contains a lot of dead, decomposing material, and it also drops when there's warmer water. So having cold, clean water will hold a lot more oxygen than warmer, dirtier water. The aquatic vegetation, we don't have any here, but in the wild there'll be plants which actually produce oxygen. They release oxygen into the water during photosynthesis during the day. And at night, the plants actually use oxygen for their metabolism. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.